I talk a lot about authenticity and about the fullness of life and the wholeness of life and really living every part of yourself and accepting that part, right? But there's another side to it. And what I've noticed when I live, last couple of weeks, I've been embracing all of who I am. I'm not self-critical anymore. I was so frozen with making a mistake in my life that I didn't really live, right? I lived in this sort of turtle shell. And now that I'm opening myself more and letting myself, my full self, my authentic self out, I realize that I'm making mistakes. And that's something that I was really scared of making before. I simply wouldn't act because I can't make a mistake, right? And this came from my people pleasing. It came from my inner critic and a self-loathing that I had for a long time. And now that I'm embracing self-love and I'm accepting all of who I am, now that I'm living more of a human life, which involves making mistakes, now I'm dealing with that. And at first, I made a blunder at work. I was really embarrassed about it, and I have to talk to the coworkers and my boss about it, and it's nothing crazy. But in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Why do I even act? Why do I talk? I'm not this, I'm not that. I went through the usual routine that we go through with our inner critic and berating ourselves. But if I'm coming from a place of self-love and self-acceptance, I have to accept that too. And so it's this idea of like, well, yeah, you have to accept being human. You made a mistake. And now what do you do with that mistake, right? How do you deal with yourself in making mistakes? That's the point of this video, is that now that we're becoming more authentic, we're opening up to all sides of ourselves, we're going to risk making people inconvenient and uncomfortable and even risk hurting them or not hurting them, but, making them uncomfortable, offending them. That was the word I was looking for. And so it's this other side. And so you just can't simply run away. You can't go back into your shell and no, I'm not going to make a mistake anymore. Because that's the first thing I wanted to do. I'll never do this ever again. I took that part of me. I did some parts work and I sat with that part of me and I said, hey, that's who you are. You make mistakes. It's okay. And so it's waiting for that phone call back from your partner or a friend. It's waiting for that text to get back to them. Hey, you want to talk to me? Yeah, let's have a talk. I made a mistake. Sorry about that. And it's dealing with that because you're going to make people uncomfortable because you live in a world we make mistakes. And it's okay. So that's the point of this, is that when you deal with authenticity, you deal with that as well. Take care.